think there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business, Nick. And it's me, it's Tony Khan. It's not some con man from Connecticut. Have a fun show tonight, Nick.
All Elite Wrestling, a company founded back in 2019 that once had so much hope and so much promise, and is now nothing more than a parody of what it set out to truly be.
These tears are not fucking fake. My leg fucking hurts really bad, and I landed on it really hard off the top rope. But I fucking love wrestling so much.
Tonight, we find out what caused the downfall of AEW. In 2018, Vince McMahon is terrorizing professional wrestling fans around the world with his bad booking and lackluster shows. There seemed to be no hope in sight until four men had a dream. After the success of 2018's All In show, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Cody Rhodes set out to start their own company, but they needed money. It would be impossible to find someone with enough money that's also a wrestling fan to invest in starting a brand new wrestling company. Or was it? Tony Khan, co-owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and Fulham FC with his dad, Shad Khan. Tony was a lifelong fan of professional wrestling, attending many WCW and ECW shows in his younger years. Tony had always dreamed of being a head booker for a wrestling show. Little did he know, that dream was about to become a reality. After meeting and coming to terms with the idea, the official announcement of All Elite Wrestling took place on the 1st of January 2019. Things looked bright and promising for the new promotion, despite Vince McMahon's wrestling monopoly, but it was day one where the first mistake was made. The four wrestlers who helped start the promotion, Kenny, Cody, and the Bucks, became executive vice presidents of the company, placing them in management positions. This would eventually be a recipe for disaster. After a successful Double or Nothing pay-per-view and a great start to their Wednesday show, AEW Dynamite, nothing seemed to be stopping the underdog promotion. They had former WWE stars such as Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose. They brought us the blood and guts we had been craving for since WWE became PG. But then, COVID happened. The wrestling business was suffering considerably, with both WWE and AEW having to run shows with no fans in attendance, making the products, in my opinion, unwatchable. But once all that was over, AEW pulled a card that would change the business forever. Late August of 2021, AEW were about to debut a new Friday show called Rampage, and the debut would take place in Chicago, Illinois, which immediately led to rumours of CM Punk making his return to wrestling after 7 years away. Some thought it was impossible, but then the impossible happened. All Elite Wrestling was making their way to the top after signing CM Punk. They signed Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, and many more former WWE stars. But did they sign too many? Things started to go wrong for AEW in 2022. Cody Rhodes, one of the EVPs who started the promotion, had left to go back to WWE after rumours and speculation of backstage conflict with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. This was the beginning of the end for AEW. Tony Khan did manage to pick himself up and carry on, making CM Punk his world champion, but there were people behind the scenes who didn't want this to happen. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Adam Page conspired against Punk, planting negative things in the wrestling media via Dave Meltzer. After this, Hangman Page accused Punk of having a fellow wrestler fired live on TV, which pushed Punk over the edge.
Now, it's 2022. I haven't been friends with this guy since at least 2014, late 2013. And the fact that I have to sit up here because we have irresponsible people who call themselves EVPs and couldn't fucking manage a target, and they spread lies and bullshit and put into a media that I got somebody fired when I have fuck all to do with him, want nothing to do with him, do not care where he works, where he doesn't work, where he eats, where he sleeps. And the fact that I have to get up here and do this in 2022 is fucking embarrassing.
After winning the AEW World Championship for a second time, Punk sat next to his boss and buried the company and the EVPs, which led to a legitimate backstage brawl, causing all men involved to be suspended. During Punk's suspension, MJF became the world champion, feuding with the likes of Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson. This is where the business metrics began to drop, with ratings dropping under 1 million viewers and ticket sales slowly declining.
That QR code is going to be a code that for the AEW show November 1st, KFC Yum Arena. Buy one ticket, get one free, yeah!
More backstage drama occurred between other wrestlers. Tony was losing grip of his own company. June 2023, a new show was about to debut on Saturday nights called Collision. This show was created to keep the Elite and CM Punk away from each other, which worked, but at the cost of AEW's credibility. Tony Khan was unable to keep his employees under control, that he had to create a whole new show, which would eventually be a pointless endeavour. August of 2023, 2 years after the debut of CM Punk, AEW held a show at Wembley Stadium in London, selling 70,000 plus tickets. This was a staggering success for the company, but before the show even started, there was a problem. In the weeks leading up to the big event, rumours of animosity between CM Punk and other talent began, with one Jack Perry taking it too far.
Crushing real glass, crushing the abdomen. Go cry me a river.
Perry wanted to use real glass in a spot on the show, which Punk would not let happen, as it was dangerous and potentially fatal. But Jack Perry took this as an insult and mocked Punk live in front of the whole world. This led to a fight between Punk and Perry, and eventually CM Punk was fired from AEW.
Today I terminated Phil Brooks, CM Punk, for cause. This stems from a backstage incident at AEW All In last Sunday. The incident was regrettable, and it endangered people backstage. That includes the production staff, the people who help put the show on every week, innocent people who had nothing to do with it. I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years. I've been producing them on this network for nearly 4 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt, until last Sunday, that my security, my safety, my life was in danger.
This brings us to the present day. After being fired from AEW, CM Punk made his return to WWE after nearly 10 years away from the company. He vowed to never return there, but because Tony Khan had made such an enemy of CM Punk had joined forces with his previous enemy to take down Tony Khan. While WWE is thriving thanks to the departure of Vince McMahon from the creative team, AEW is directionless and pushing more fans away with the disgusting content that they bring out every week. What caused this company to go from such heights to such lows? Tony Khan. Tony Khan thought booking a wrestling show would be easy. He underestimated the task he had at hand, and instead of hiring employees, he bought friends, and those friends eventually turn. How long left does AEW have? Only time will tell. If his dad decides to pull the plug on the finances, or the television network decides to pull the plug on AEW. And that was the rise and fall of AEW. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think of the downward trajectory of AEW.